right. Well, welcome everyone to meet our Plymouth County Community Difference Makers. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tim Cruz, and I'm the Plymouth County District Attorney. And with me today is Jamal Gooding. Jamal is the founder and the executive director of People Affecting Community Change, or PACC, as it's known here in Brockton, here in the community. So Jamal, welcome. I'm glad that you're here today. And perhaps you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to this point in your life where you're working so well in organizing PACC.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jamal Gooding. I am the founder and current executive director of PACC, People Affecting Community Change, here in the city of Brockton, Mass. We service those throughout the South Shore as well as many in the Boston area. I am a returning citizen myself, and I traveled a path that really wasn't, I guess, open to a lot of the resources. We started PACC, People Affecting Community Change, initially as a part of our outreach ministry for New Life Temple of Holiness, Inc. here in the city. Shameless plug to Pastor Michael A. Gilbert, as well as we got adopted by the late Mayor Carpenter underneath the Neighborhood Association. And then we moved up and became a full-fledged licensed LLC, as well as a nonprofit. And so what PACC really does is we are a conduit that provides relevant information and tangible resources to the community at large, not just men and women who are returning citizens. And so we were invited to sit down with the district attorney's office, who organized a number of community members and law enforcement and stakeholders in an attempt to really just try to figure out how we could make our city streets safer. And so we initially really was just a workforce development program that expanded into a fresh fruits and vegetable program that extended into housing for those who had some difficulties finding housing that was affordable. And we have now grown to be able to be not only a workforce development agency in housing and food, but we are also a stakeholder in this community. And we service all in this community, which is a large. So we particularly are focusing on those who are in transition. If it's young adults that's transitioning into adulthood, if it's men and women returning back to our communities, if it's that population that doesn't speak English as a primary language, we're able to touch them where they're at, and then connect them with our partners and the resources that will increase their quality of life and, of course, keep our community safe.
And that's certainly something that when you re-entered the community back here, those are the things that unfortunately were the challenges that you faced, which is why you understand how important it is to make sure that people get the help that they need to get up on their own so they can be out working and being a vibrant member of the community. So I appreciate that what you went through in order to create PACC and in order to make a difference. As you know, we deal with a lot of different agencies here, and PACC has certainly been, the last few years, been really working hard to be something that we can rely on. So as we go forward now, and as you are working with all these different people and all these different men and women who are looking for help, looking for a hand up, what is it that we can do here in the community to best help PACC move forward in the positive fashion that you've created?
So as an organization, we're always looking for new organizations, new pastors, new community members to get involved. We do everything from events for the community. We have a system that we've developed that is education, entertainment, and empowerment. So if we're dealing with the young adults and we're trying to bring them in, we know that music moves the crowd. And so we get them in one place, and then we educate them about whatever initiative it may be. If it's citizenship, if it's job opportunities, if it's community cleanups, we're able to connect them with that and empower them to go out. Our greatest challenge has always been transportation, and that comes in a couple of different realms. Brockton does not have a lot of living wage jobs for adults as well as for young adults. And so when we find and develop relationships with organizations and companies that are willing to hire individuals, it's generally outside of Brockton, Massachusetts. And so we're busing people to different jobs and using vans to get them there, and it's absolutely improving their quality of life. And so it has been a challenge. Sometimes we pull up in 9 cars as opposed to one 15-passenger van. That's our greatest need. And then those individuals who are from this city and the MBTA stops running at 6, 7 o'clock at night if they work outside of Brockton, it's a challenge for them to get home. I think that the weekend work is a challenge for those who are navigating the public transportation. And so the greatest need for us to be sustainable is access to the additional transportation, and that can come in a number of ways, whether that's donations or whether that's partnering with local churches that have vans, whether that is partnering with other individuals that have cars. That's our greatest need for adults. For young adults, we have tons of jobs that are open, but again, transportation is a challenge. You know, we was blessed by Mr. Kraft some time ago. They gave us access to over 400 jobs for the city. And since then, we've been able to extend our opportunity at Gillette, and we're able to put a lot more young adults to work. I guess the second biggest need that we have is volunteers. Anyone can volunteer. And so when it comes to working with young adults, we try to make sure that they're getting the training that they need before we put them into full force employment. Volunteers in regards to getting this message out. I'm sure the community can benefit from our food program. I'm sure they can benefit from the number of jobs that we have open till date, which is some 317 jobs. And then those who come from diverse backgrounds, you know, whether you're a young adult, whether you don't speak English, or whether you're a returning citizen, our partners, including the district attorney's office, we got a number of opportunities, and that's not just in employment.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, obviously since we've been working together, you know, through Safe Streets originally, and then a lot of the programs that you've had here for the community, which people don't know about. You're right, we have to get the word out, whether it be, you know, the turkey drive or the clothing, trying to get people clothing for jobs so they can, you know, wear something if they're going to get hired. That stuff's important. Core-friendly job fair that you're talking about, that they have over Memorial Hall, the one that you had at your over, I don't know the address over on Warren Avenue.
340 Warren.
340 Warren, which is really, you guys do an excellent job over there. We were there a couple weeks back ago, and people need to understand that, you know, there are good people out there that are working as hard as they can, but they also, and those agencies, need help to keep going in the positive fashion that you're doing right now and getting people jobs. I mean, how do you see somebody who gets a job for the first time, is somebody in their life is really looking out for them, and say, here's what you can do and here's what you can become? How do you deal with the people that are doing it for the first time and overcoming that challenge? You know, because lots of times a lot of people haven't had a hand up.
Well, I can tell you that trust is always been an issue in the minority community, probably in many communities, but particularly from Brockton. There are a lot of things that contribute to individuals not knowing or taking advantage of some of the opportunities and some of the resources that are out there. We know that community policing has always been a challenge, and we being at the table and really trying to change the content of conversation. We're in this together no matter what. Brockton is better, Brockton will be better, Brockton can be better. I think the mistrust of law enforcement sometimes has individuals feeding into a stereotype that doesn't allow them to actually take advantage, right? I think that bridge, that conduit, I think events such as this, in order for me to be sitting down with you and you to be sitting down with me, there has to be an element of trust because our reputation goes beyond us, right? But when I can say the district attorney's office has allowed us to do this, they've donated clothing, like you said, you supported us financially and given donations. But even working with Jim Frazier from the Sheriff's Department and getting guys IDs, when one of the things we pride ourselves is that you're not going to stay on a list with us. So if a gentleman is having an issue and we can reach out to the district attorney's office and say, hey, is there any way we can navigate a conversation? And I've done that with Joe Janesic, who's just a total man of integrity. And he says he what he means and he means what he does. So I think for someone tapping into any of the events, initiatives, or programs that we have, they know when they come to the table, we're connecting them with the service providers that can help them day one. That sets us aside of all other organizations out here. But the biggest thing is the relationships. I know if I reach out to District Attorney Cruz and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do, or can we get your support in this initiative? When you show up, you show up. And that's big because not often do, for lack of a better word, politicians actually show up, care, and keep their word. And so that changes everything. To date, we've serviced over 14,000, I believe, 519 individuals. And that's COVID, that's food, that's clothing, that's transportation, that's housing, that's jobs. I think right now we've come to the understanding that just giving someone a job or just giving them a place to lay their head, that's only step one. It's the getting involved and the skill sets that are built. It's allowing your voice to be heard. It's connecting with our partners such as the district attorney's office in a way from where they're at.
But that's where PAC and you need to take. I mean, I know you don't want to take a lot of credit, but you are a unique organization here and in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We deal with lots of organizations, and it's the same thing that we said for you. You show up at Safe Streets, you show up at these meetings, you show up having those conversations, and showing up on both ends, I think, makes a real difference. And we've been talking about, for quite a while about transportation and things such as that. And you know that we, when we're doing our job, when we're going after individuals who are selling poison in the streets and hurting people, that we're allowed to try to forfeit vehicles and things such as that. And we've been hopeful that we've been able to get a van for you or something like that we could do. Well, we hasn't been able yet to get a van. However, we do have for you a Dodge Durango that is right now being detailed, and we're going to be in a position to turning that over to you and to PAC, which is a bigger vehicle, so you're going to have more people in it. And we'll still keep looking for the van, but we don't really have a lot of those in the transactions that we have. But I think that something like that, and this vehicle has been used, it was used as an undercover vehicle for a while. It needs to be fixed up, which is why we're detailing it and fixing it right now before we give it back to you, so that you can use that with the people in your organization that transport some of those people to the places they need to go. Because I've just watched and looked at your commitment here in the city of Brockton, and I'm just very impressed by it. And I think that when you're talking, you've touched 15,000 people. That's really an incredible job on your part. And I appreciate what you're doing here in the city of Brockton, and want you to know that we're going to continue to work with you and try to make sure that we can make your job as good as possible, and continue to come to the table with us, continue to talk with us as what can we do, how can we make it better for the people that are re-entering our community, and the people, especially the younger people now with the COVID issues and the mental health issues that are out there, and the help that people need. And like I always say, it's always about giving somebody a hand up. That's what's really important, because we all need that at some point. And I think that you've done that for so many thousands of people right now. So how can we, and how can anybody that may be watching this, what can they do right now to help PAC continue on the road that it is, regarding donations, or how can they get in touch with you or get on that, to get on your website and get that information?
So thank you first and foremost for the donation. That vehicle will probably service hundreds of individuals in this city before the end of the year.
Wow.
And so when we build a relationship and we get a contract, we're providing transportation. And a lot of times employers are astonished that we're guaranteeing that these individuals that we'll be providing for you and your jobs that are opening, that they're coming with a level of training, that they're coming with guaranteed transportation, and that they have something to lose if they don't show up. Therefore, they're most likely going to show up because we provide wraparound service to most individuals. And so I think the biggest thing is we definitely need more and more volunteers. We have Gillette, we have Xfinity, we do a lot of community-based work where we need you to come out and get involved. And it's not just with the young adults, but you can find some of this information as well as an opportunity to donate by going to www.pacglobal.com. It's constantly being updated, or looking at our Facebook page, PACC, or Instagram. Or look at the city's website, because we're on there also as a partner. And so I think if individuals who want to see a better Brockton, again, we don't only service those who are coming out of prison, we service their families as well. And I want to take this moment, District Attorney, because I think with Brockton, communication is one of the biggest challenges, even just in, let's say, for instance, the Haitian community. The older Haitians don't listen to the same podcasts, radio stations, or get the same level of promotion as the younger Haitians. But there's a lot that the district attorney's office is doing right now around, ACEs and childhood trauma, that families can take a part of in particular programs. And these are programs that when you get involved in, you see how it applies to your family and how it makes our community be better. Oftentimes people say Brockton doesn't have this, Brockton doesn't have that. But the real truth is that Brockton has everything that any other city has, and probably more. But if you don't know how to access those things, if you don't know to go to the district attorney's website, you don't know to go to the mayor's website, you don't know to go to the Brockton Library's website, you may miss the opportunities that are out here. And so even some of the funding that some of the nonprofit organizations that the district attorney's office has offered, these are things that are not being exclusive for us. This information is available for the community. So I encourage those pastors and I encourage those nonprofits, come to the table. There's help out here. It's hard. We're trying to keep our city safe, but there's a commitment from the district attorney's office as well as other partners in the city that you need to be in the loop about.
And I appreciate you mentioned the DA's office, but you're right, there's a lot of partners. There's a lot of moving parts on these things. And if anybody has any questions about where to look for information on our site, which also we'll hook up with PACC, is PlymouthDA.com. It's a pretty simple site, and that has all sorts of information and phone numbers, anything you may need to help you in a variety of different things, whether you're somebody coming back to the community, whether you're a senior, whether you're a child, talking about the very endangered children stuff that we do, and the ACEs and Handle with Care, which is, I think, something that's positive. Before we wrap up, do you have any other events right now coming up, or initiatives coming up right now that we should know about?
Yes, so we are geared to open up June 15th, our new PACC Empowerment Center located at 340 Warren Ave, everything workforce development. I believe that there's a bunch of jobs and vocational opportunities that will be made available to the public. So everything from IT to tractor trailer driving to construction to barbershop, and our new culinary arts program restaurant that will be ran by all of our youth in this city. We have also a grand opening for our new transitional housing that is also opening up in Middleborough on June 15th. We got a great opportunity for young adults through Chapter 84. It's a international platform for young adults to have their voices heard and to take part of ridding our city from vaping and tobacco products. Please just check us out on our website or Facebook, because we're constantly putting information out there. But if you're looking for a job, you know someone that's looking for a job, please feel free to reach out to us via the internet, or you can call our office at area code 508-535-5996. Once again, that's 508-535-5996.
And we'll post all the information up on this site, and also on the DA's website and yours also. But I just want to thank you very much for what you do and opening a lot of eyes to people here in the city of Brockton. And now as you're talking about you're expanding to Middleborough, you're expanding to other areas, this is really, PACC is something which, in my opinion, is growing. And it's one of the best partners that we have here in the city. So that's why anything that we can do to move the ball forward, to help people get jobs, get people stay out of the criminal justice system, trying to help their families I think that's something that's been great, and I appreciate everything you've done, and we'll continue to collaborate with you. So I thank you so much for coming in today. Appreciate it very much. And do you have any last words to say?
Just last words, want to definitely give a big shout out. He's not here, he's a player behind the scenes, but Joe Janesic, District Attorney, Dad, Christian, and the rest of the staff here at the District Attorney's Office and all the other partners. I'm not here to just go through the motions. I've absolutely called the District Attorney's Office. I've absolutely gotten commitment. They've absolutely kept in their word. And they're interested in coming to the table not as dictators, but as partners. So when you hear about the Safe Streets community meetings here in the city, please know that it's an opportunity for us as residents to bring our voices and our concerns to the city and to be heard and to be addressed with law enforcement. I encourage you to get involved, take control of this city. Brockton is better. Brockton can be better. Brockton will be better. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jamal. And with that, we'll see you next time on Meet Our Plymouth County Community Difference Makers with Jamal Gooding and Tim Cruz. Have a good day.